Hello, everybody.
We now move to agenda item 3B in the matter of Lisa Hicks, cause number 0550. Ms. Smith, could you provide us the summary, please?
Yes. On March 27th, 2023, Harold Riddle, Justice of the Peace in Washington County, Texas, complainant, filed a complaint against Lisa Hicks, respondent, alleging the respondent filed several false returns of service with the court. The respondent denied the allegations, and the respondent is here.
Okay. And the respondent is Ms. Hicks. Is she there?
And Chairman, we do have a recommendation for a sanction,
Sorry.
and that is the permanent revocation of the respondent's process server certification and an admin penalty of $2,000 total due within 12 months after the date of the final order for violations of Code of Ethics 2B, C, D, and 14E.
Okay, did you say permanent revocation?
That's correct.
Okay, can you flesh that argument out for me, please?
Sure, and that's a standard sanction per the matrix for these types of violations. She claimed that she had served two individuals whom she did not serve, who presented evidence to the court that they were not served. One found a citation in her flower pot, and the other one found the citation on the road and had yellowed with time.
How does that handle the fines of $2,000?
It's a maximum penalty of $500 per violation for 4 violations.
Okay, do we have any questions or comments from members of the committee? Is Ms. Hicks here?
Yes, sir. I sure am.
Okay. Is there anything that you would like to add to what you have already submitted to the committee?
Yes, sir. I would.
Okay.
Actually, I tried to obtain information in regards to the serves in question. Went up 2 days prior to the court date even, and I was denied. Any information, keeping in mind that process servers do lots of serves throughout the week and throughout the whole year in entirety. This was 2 years ago, but I'm concerned with the fairness of the proceedings and the denial of critical evidence that could have helped me adequately prepare and defend myself, because I actually was just recently able to obtain a small clip, a photo of the actual man saying that he was not served and that it was left at his gate and that the papers were yellowing. I wear a body camera, especially now, realizing that there's nothing to protect us. At the time I was driving Uber though, and I'd forgotten all about having a dash cam at that time. And also knowing that this gentleman himself that says this actually lied bold-faced to the court, saying, well, he didn't remember what serve he found that was left. And then he retracted it and said, okay, well, I think it was another one I was talking about, but come to find out he had been served other papers by other servers in from different counties for things unrelated to this. So, I mean, Mr. Riddle, Judge Riddle, denied me the crucial evidence that could have helped me prepare for this long ago, and I had no idea what I was getting into, or, you know, I went in blindsided, basically, tried and convicted without a trial.
Well, except you were in control of everything that happened with regard to your affidavit of service. Nobody forced you to sign or do anything with regard to that, and that's what the issue here is.
Who was served?
Who did you serve? And the question is whether you had personal service or some form of alternative service.
It was personal service, and the man was irate and very intimidating at that. And I actually had witnesses as well. So
You had witnesses when?
it was in the second service to him, because the first one he was very irate and yelling and not happy. And then there's other servers that serve in that county, so we share ride many times. So I rode up with, well, actually, he rode with me that time. So another server had ridden with me as well. And so the burgundy truck that the gentleman refers to is indeed that truck. But keeping in mind that ABC legal requires that you take pictures upon arrival, and then it has to be submitted as you're there, because it marks your location, your latitude, your longitude, and the time and date that it took place. But you have to capture the evidential photos per these serves. So I typically just wear a body camera or my cell phone just underneath a binder, and I record. But this was earlier on. I was actually certified right in the height of COVID. I'm the girl that went and sat on y'all's porch there at the courthouse, drove 2 hours during COVID to find out how much longer it'd be till my certification got pushed through. But I take this very seriously. I deeply have compassion and care for others. And this is not my character. And I was on my 4th attempt with the one that he's saying that happened, where it wouldn't have made any sense for me to leave those documents when I could have just taken them back with me, filed for the 106 or 107 in the case that it's a gate, and collected, another measly $35 for taking him out a second time and posting it to the gate. It just wouldn't have benefited me in any way to do that. But he sat in court and blatantly told the judge that those charges on the papers weren't his. And then he retracted that, said, okay, well, maybe the top charges are, but the bottom aren't. But the judge asked, do you still have your credit card in possession? He says, yes. And long story short, all of the charges were similar stores in the same time period, which he first said none of them were his. So, I mean, that's questionable character in my own humble opinion, in regards to, I wasn't given a chance. I mean, I don't even think the judge listened to a thing I said. And again, I drove up before that day just asking and inquiring, please, sir, can you tell me, what this is involving? And he's like, I just need you to show up and testify. And that was all I was told, which is baseless and obviously unjust, because I was not able to prepare at that time for anything.
Okay, ma'am, we're
Sir.
proceeding. That's a complaint review committee with regard to service and process. What
Yes,
may
sir.
transferred and transpired in other venues is not relevant to these proceedings. So the issue that we have before us is you've got returns of service reflecting personal service on 2 individuals who have come out and both said, no, that never happened. What is your response to that?
My response is they were served. And now that I know who they were, you can actually go look. I have obtained the photos of the license plate numbers of both of the ladies' vehicles showing the day she was home on the day she was served. And also I found it's a partial photo of him because he was moving around. So of the other individual. And also there's relation between the one in Sealy and himself.
Where did you serve Mr. And how do you spell that one? Lorenz Teat?
Yeah, he has a long driveway, a dirt driveway that leads back to his home. He has a front entryway gate that requires key code access in order to enter it. So I serve in the rural areas mainly. I had waited there for several minutes, and actually, again, this was my 4th attempt. The first 3 times I was unable to get him, so I had to depart. But on the 4th attempt, he pulled up beside me at his front gate asking what I was doing there. So that's how that occurred. And he was going into his property as I was parked outside of it. And very, very possible to serve at a gate. I do it all the time. You have to just be patient and wait. That one actually I didn't wait very long. He showed up.
Mr. Chairman, may I add something?
Yes.
In page 2 of the complaint, it also said the respondent states she's locked out of the ABC Legal account. She is not the first person that I've had contact with ABC Legal that when they lock you out, they lock you out. And one of the motions, recommendations I'd make is to table this until we could subpoena ABC Legal to provide that information to her, to Ms. Hicks, so she could properly give that information out.
Thank you. Yeah,
Is-
I had no way to access any of that.
And any other comments from the committee members?
I'd like to clarify something that Ms. Hicks said. You said that you had someone in the vehicle with you. Was that someone in the vehicle with you on that 4th attempt when you served the defendant, or were
That would
you
be both times. We share ride share.
Okay. All right.
Now I have a question about the complainant with the photograph that was submitted. That was from surveillance video, is that correct? Is it a still shot?
The photograph, yes, that was submitted. That was the photograph that Lorenz Keatit, I guess, took a still shot from his security camera.
And was the actual footage submitted or just that still shot?
That when I asked, I don't know. I know when I asked for any evidence, the judge or the complainant only sent that still shot. And then when I spoke with Mr. Keatit, he said he doesn't think he has the footage anymore.
I have a still shot of him.
Do you take any
That's
note?
from a dash cam, of course, so it's not very good picture, but I had to go get an old phone that I had and have the pictures that I had taken. Once I found the dates on the letter I received from you all for today, I found the dates. I went immediately to that old phone, reactivated it, and extracted the photos from there. And I did actually have a partial photo. It's not very good at all, but
Do you take notes of any of your serves?
absolutely. And there are full descriptions of both individuals describing their hair color, their height, their weight, their eye color, literally everything. And you can't leave with ABC Legal, you can't even leave the premises until you input all that information and submit it, because that's how it tracks your time, date, and location upon completion.
Is there any particular reason why you waited until this stage of the proceedings?
I've been in the hospital. Well, I've
Excuse me.
actually worried about this for a year, but I was in the hospital.
Hold on, let me finish.
Okay.
I want to know why you waited so long before you raised this issue. I don't see anything in the complaint or the response that says you were prevented from testifying with regard to what you just said.
The
Or-
subpoena only gave a name, and that I had no other information of anything. And then when I drove up to Brenham and talked to Mr. Riddle, I drove all the way to the courthouse, which is not a short trip. And I said, sir, what is this involving? Just, so I know what I need to prepare for. Again, process servers do hundreds of serves a month, and, quite a few within the year. And it would be impossible to know, who he's referring to. And again, that was 2 years ago.
You're
So that's why I asked.
saying you didn't get notice of the complaint?
No, there was no notice. It was a subpoena that simply said you're hereby called to testify in the matter of, and it gave a name. It didn't say even what it was regarding. It was
No,
a very,
I'm talking about this complaint, not a subpoena in some other proceeding, but
yes,
this.
sir.
Okay. Are you saying that the Judicial Branch Certification Commission, the investigation report, is based on your never having received notice of it?
Never received notice of today's hearing.
The entire complaint process from when the complaint was first filed, March 27, 2023.
No, I had got notice of it in the mail, and I was shocked. And of course I looked for information, but I didn't even remember having a different phone. Didn't even think to refer to that. But I mean, I've just been waiting for this day so I could present it. I wasn't sure how. I've never been in trouble, and I haven't been a process server for very long. But I just thought that's what today was for, sir.
Any questions or comments from the committee?
I would express my support for Mr. Roulette's suggestion to table it. And I think it's important that the committee ask for the video of the entirety of that period of time that was submitted in a still shot. Because a still shot, if somebody's waiting at a gate for some time for the defendant to come out, I don't think tells the entirety of the story.
What is your recommendation with regard to other documents she might get? I mean, are we given an open-ended time where she goes out and does her investigation, which she obviously did not do before today?
Well,
What are the
I
limits?
tried.
What are the limits on saying, let's go ahead and table these complaints and give them more time to go investigate when they haven't used the time that was available to them?
well, it's not just that, Mr. Chairman, is ABC Legal will not respond. When they give you that, your services are no longer needed, you are locked out of everything. You can't go back and get your information that you have because it's all on the phone. It's all digital. The only thing you have is your handwritten note sheet, because everything is photographed in there. You can't really necessarily pull down a copy of it yourself. As far as the servers, the 4 servers that spoke to, well, she's the 5th one now, spoke to me regarding this. And so I feel ABC Legal will have to be subpoenaed to provide those records. And I'm not sure what time frame that will take to help bolster her case, because it's a very extreme, to me, it seems like an extreme punishment when you don't have access to the records that you need. And I think that's something ABC Legal's have to provide to their servers in the future whenever there's a complaint or a future trial or something like that regarding their information. Because they say, do not contact us.
Exactly. And I
Okay,
tried anyway.
My response to the chairman's question would be that I'd feel comfortable waiting until the next meeting. And it sounds like the respondent is doing some due diligence to find information from a device. And if that information can be submitted timely before the next meeting, I think it would be helpful. I understand the chairman's position about not having done the due diligence to this point. But I also hear the response.
there's also the issue of getting this committee involved with telling a potential litigant what to go look for, and here, do this because this company always does this. I mean, we can't put ourselves in that position, and that's not what we're here for.
Right. And I'm
She
not of
she has
the,
a duty to pursue her claim in accordance with the law, not to come to us and complain that she thinks she was treated poorly. But I'm okay with giving additional time if that's what the rest of the committee members want to do, but let's put some limits on it. And I don't want to be in the same position 3 months from now with someone saying, I couldn't get what I wanted. So give me
I
some.
tried. I was hospitalized for a month with sepsis and pneumonia right after that. So
And if I can add also, that ABC Legal has, when I was the investigator, ABC Legal has not wanted to work with us. They will not answer any questions. They will not help us with any information that we need for investigations. Even when they've conducted their own investigations, they will not release anything to us. We've asked them for pictures. We've asked them for GPS. We've asked them for information in general. And they have always been unwilling. And I understand that Dan had talked about a subpoena, but just give some background. ABC Legal is not easy to work with at all.
what I'm hearing, it sounds like the respondent has information on her phone available to her. If she can submit that before the next meeting, I'd be comfortable in reviewing it again. I'll leave it at that.
Okay. Vina, what is your recommendation with regard to a timetable?
I know that Amy was thinking that the next meeting would be on the 20th or the 19th of December. So I've never had to issue an administrative subpoena to an entity before. I don't know if there's even a time frame for requiring that they, produce any evidence. We can get on it as quickly as we can, but I don't know if we would be able to wrap up our investigation by the December 20th, but I would think that would be enough time that we would be able to come up with something. We've never used that process before, and maybe they'll be more responsive.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an uphill climb personally, because we're not an adjudicative body with regard to discovery or ongoing disputes between litigants. Anyway, so would the recommendation be to table this until December or whatever it was?
What I would,
Go ahead.
sorry, what I would suggest is someone can make a motion to table until such time that the investigation can be completed, because I don't know how long that's going to take. We can certainly shoot for December. I think that would be sufficient time, but since we've never used this process, I don't know if I can guarantee that a date certain.
And if I might clarify, I'm not in any way suggesting that we subpoena ABC Legal. My point or my motion would be to allow the respondent to submit what she's now found on devices, on her own devices, as opposed to the company's
It's
devices.
just the one, it's a partial.
But we haven't received that, is that correct?
No, I just thought to like look back and do that. It never occurred to me. I was driving Uber at the time as well for extra money. So I forgot all about having the webcam, and then I had taken a photo of photos basically back then because he was just such a jerk, but I'd forgotten about it, and it's only a partial because I had to slow the video down because it was kind of pan past him when he was moving. So it's a really bad picture, but it's him. I mean, and I described him perfectly in the return, like his height, his weight, his hair color, his age, like every bit of it. And
Okay.
the woman with that license plate and everything.
Ma'am, we're not going to repeat what we've already covered.
Okay.
One of the other things that we're going to have to address is process servers sitting on a committee where a litigant has requested their assistance, and they're more than willing to try to get it for them. I just put that on the back burner right now. I move that we table this complaint committee hearing until the next session, which would be December 20th,
I
It'd
think
be
it's
December
19th.
December 19th.
2024. Is that a sufficient motion, Vina?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do I have a second?
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
And passes, and it'll be reset. Vina, and I assume you'll send out a letter with regard to the new deadline.
Yes, sir, we'll do that.
Okay. Thank you. Ms. Hicks, you're free to go or to listen to the other hearings.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
You too, sir.
Be safe, be well, sleep sweet, and much love.